So Peter, what are the main three things that you're standing on?
I think I'd like to think I have something to offer in terms of my experience in Queenstown. I think that's important, that people who sit in the job in that political arena have been here for a while, know the pressures that affect our community all the time. I think growth is top of mind in tourism. I think we have to be very careful around that conversation, but it has to be had in a constructive way. I'd like to be a part of that. I think it's very important that we're mindful that we don't send our local economy into a tailspin. There's so many people depend on it for their incomes, livelihoods. So the other thing I think is that we've got to have a safe and healthy community. So we've got to look after the people. I think the quality of life is really important. Council always has a role in that regard.
I guess the biggest issue at the moment is airport expansion. What's your position on that?
I think we may be thinking about the wrong thing when we talk about the airport. I think we need to talk about the district plan. That should put boundaries around the whole community, and the airport should have to fit into that, regardless of its ambition. So that's how I would deal with it.
You've mentioned growth, but could you just expand on where you think the balance is? What would be your position on growth overall?
Well, I think growth is healthy. I think businesses, communities need some incremental growth. Unbridled growth is no good for anybody, really. It just breaks everything, stresses the community out, and it worries everybody. So we have to put some boundaries around that too.
Do you think tourism should stay as our main industry?
Well, it is our main industry. We're not going to change that. What else would we replace it with? It's easy to question it, but there's no real alternative, I don't think, when we're living in a place that's so magnificent. It's the most precious thing we have.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and also what makes you emotional about living here.
Oh, what makes me emotional? I came to work here, ironically, on that building right beside us in 1987. And I wasn't a great fan of Queenstown back then, but when I lived here and spent some time here, I decided that I was going to make the move permanently, because I was remote working from Invercargill in those days. I love the environment, I love the people. It's a really positive place to be in. It has opportunity in abundance, so yeah, it's wonderful.